Well, hello there and welcome back to this F1 2018 Williams career mode. We're round 4 at the Baku City circuit in Azerbaijan, and this will be a real test if we manage to get to the end of qualifying in the race without picking up too much damage and being able to finish as well. Practice sessions have been and gone. We're off the pace a little bit. We always struggle around here for whatever reason. The chassis and the aero department is still quite bad, so that probably has quite a lot to do with it. Although we're quick down the main straight, as you can imagine, with the Works Mercedes engine. Three messages then. Good luck out there today from Emma. The weather forecast, you can see for qualifying it's going to be heavy rain, then forward to light rain towards the end of possibly Q2, maybe Q3. Race sunny with a little bit of cloud, and then there's some information there about the circuit. Moving on, we've got a contract coming up, I believe, at the end of this race. It's every 4, well, it is in fact every 4 races. I know that for a fact, but due to the going so far in the Sauber career mode from previous, before I lost all the footage for it. Team goal, meanwhile, complete 4 practice programs. We've done 11, so that will be coming in at the end of this race, an extra 400 resource points. Rivalry then, quick update, 18-8 against Sorokin, 6-3 against Ericsson. Research and development, bad news I'm afraid. The engine power, the crankshaft upgrade failed, so we've got to get that rear back on, redone on the car, and of course next week we should have the side pod turning vanes coming from the aerodynamic department. As for progress history, some teams are now starting to upgrade, I should say. Red Bull have had a minor upgrade, and they've caught right up to Ferrari and Mercedes. Renault have had another minor upgrade. Force India have had a major and a minor upgrade as well to the Sauber team. So we're just a little bit away from Toro Rosso and Sauber at the moment, but hopefully we can get some more upgrades done in the next few weeks. And finally, the vehicle management then. I did 28 laps in total in practice. The IC is at 63%, so what we're going to do is change on to the second unit. The MGUK is at 39, MGUH at 48, the energy store at 36, the turbocharger at 48, and the electronics at 33. As for the gearbox, 54% wear. We're going to have to change it out at the end of this race going into the next one, I think, because this is going to be very close, if not into the 70% bracket, and we possibly will start to struggle maybe towards the end of the race if we get that far, but certainly for round 5 at Spain we'll be picking up some gearbox issues. 39% on a practice gearbox. Whilst I'm here, I might as well order a new practice gearbox. Why not? It adds no penalties. Only the event gearbox adds penalties if we change it out before 6 races, which we will be unfortunately doing. So yeah, we're up to 766 resource points then. The morale for the engine department, 6% upgrade price reduction, 3% failure chance reduction. So at the moment, 235 resource points we'll need out of the 766 we've already accumulated during this weekend to get that redone. So it will be redone going into the next weekend. And obviously we've got this one coming in, and I might as well do one of the upgrades for the chassis department or the durability, depending on how many resource points we end up with at the end of the weekend. Not much else to talk about then. We'll go to qualifying. My pace has been pretty low down. I think we'll struggle to get out of Q2, or if we do manage to get through to Q2, that'll probably be about it. But we'll certainly give it our O around this very technical yet very fast challenging street circuit. So we'll go to Q1 and see what we can do with, of course, heavy rain. So in the first time this season we're going to be experiencing heavy rain. So yeah, intermediates, 1.7 seconds off, so it is going to be full wet tyres. Car setup, it's going to be locked in, obviously, going into the race, part thermal conditions, so we're going to be running with a dry setup, which means we're probably going to be languishing probably at the very bottom of the standings, but of course I want to be running a dry setup for the race, because that's where the points and prizes are handed out, and it is supposed to be a dry race. So we stick with the 3.8 that I've chosen for the front and rear wing. Transmission, 90% for the diff on throttle, 75% off. Suspension geometry I've left in the middle for the camber and the toe for now. Suspension, 5.5 all across the board for suspension, ARBs and ride height. Brakes, 90% pressure, 54% front bias. Tyres, 2 clicks to the right on the front, 1 click to the right on the rear, and the weight distribution is at 6. Tyre wear is quite high for us. We'll probably be having to be doing several stops during the race, as long as we at least keep it clean. But we've got a good grip, and so hopefully we've got a good balance, good grip around the circuit. What that'll be like in the wet, I'm not too sure, but we'll get out there now to do our first flying lap and see how we compare with our rivals. So 3 minutes left of the session. Currently languishing down in 18th place. Car feels horrible, as you can imagine, in these full wet conditions running a dry setup. We'll go out again and see if we can make it through, but we need to find a full second, and to be honest it's going to be quite difficult. So we'll bump on another set of oh actually hold on, intermediates are quicker. Great. Right, we'll go for a set of intermediates then. We'll get out of there straight away and see what we can do. Nope, didn't work for us. Completely out there. Started the flying lap, by the time I came out of turn 2, I was already 6 tenths down on my previous best. So even though the intermediate said it was quicker, it lied. So we are unfortunately out in Q1. These are all the drivers that made it through. Hartley, Ericsson, Van Dorn, ourselves and Sorokin have been eliminated. And to be honest, we've been eliminated in Q1. That's no real surprise. We're going to struggle in the dry, certainly in the wet. I think it's a good opportunity to possibly order a shed load of new engine parts and change our gearbox. We might as well do it now. We'll be starting at the back anyway, so let's not just get all the bits on the car now, and then we've got a clean slate going into the next race. So right after we break down then, we completed qualifying and set a faster lap than Sorokin, but didn't against Ericsson, but that's fine. The resource points then for qualifying this will be low, unfortunately, but we can only do so much. Only 110. Takes up to 876. Reputation's crept up a little bit with Williams, which is good to see. We need a positive result this weekend to try and do as much as we can before we do our contract negotiation at the end of this race. So one message: hey Alex, how you feeling? I said in the briefing, the car's looking good. Blah de blah de blah. Right, we're going to go for it. We're going to order a new part of a new part of everything. We'll go back to unit number 2 though. So we'll order this. We'll order this. It might seem a bit extreme doing it this early, but we qualified 19th, so we can't start any further up unless people, of course. So just put these bits back on. Bear with me. There we go. Right, so they should all be back on the car. They are indeed. And we'll order a new gearbox as well. There we go. Yeah, that's fine. It should all change around lovely before we go to the race. Yeah, the reason why I've done it is, yeah, okay, a few people out here coming into the 4th race might pick up grid penalties, but we are off the pace. We were sort of languishing around somewhere about 13th to 16th in the 3 practice sessions. We was all running similar strategies and tyres as well. Qualifying, yeah, we've ended up in 19th place. So, you know, at worst, we'll lose 1 position. So it makes sense, really, you know, after a poor qualifying session, to order with new bits. If we made it through to Q2, and maybe qualified 13th or 14th, something like that, or like China somehow made it through to Q3, I wouldn't do it, because obviously we'll be starting right at the back when we have the pace. But we don't really have the pace here, so it's just easier to just, you know, what's the one for, the phrase I'm looking for, just I don't know, but basically when you've got nothing to lose, you might as well just, you know, do what you can to help yourself throughout the rest of the season. So we've ordered a load of new bits and got a new gearbox on the car. We'll take, I'll probably have 60 place grid penalty or something crazy like that, so we'll definitely be starting last. But, you know, I'd rather do it now, and then we've got clean everything going into Spain, which is a strong track for me, and who knows, yeah, exactly, you know, just doing these sort of things just makes it better as the season goes on. We've now got probably enough units, really, not the gearbox side, but everything else, to see the end of the season without taking more grid penalties. So take a hard hit early on and then better yourself as the season goes on. But we'll go away now then. We'll look at the introduction for the Baku City Circuit in Azerbaijan, the grid formation to see if anyone else has any grid penalties, and then try to work out some sort of respectable race strategy.
Good afternoon and welcome to Baku. This was the arena, if you think back to 2017, of one of the most eventful races of modern history, with controversy behind the safety car, last-second overtakes, and a historic podium for Williams and for Lance Stroll. So let's find out what lies in store for us this year. It's time for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Baku City Circuit then, an unpredictable 3.7-mile track around the streets of the Azerbaijan capital. 20 turns for our drivers to navigate today, including the infamous Turn 8, one of the tightest and most challenging corners of the season. Anthony Davidson joins me today as we look ahead to something just a little bit different. It's quite high speed for a street circuit here, isn't it? Do you think that's going to throw up any unexpected situations?
Well, as long as the teams can keep everything cool, I don't foresee any particular big issues from a technical side of things. I do expect the track to be quite slippery though. We've not exactly had much chance to rubber in the surface. Any street circuit also comes with its own challenges, so I think we'll be seeing a few mistakes here and there. The smart strategy would be to expect a safety car, I think, especially early on when the pack is bunched up.
Well then, after an exciting qualifying session yesterday, let's take a look at how the cars line up. Kimi Raikkonen's perfect lap yesterday sees him start from pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Vettel, Max Verstappen, and Ricciardo, Perez, Ocon, Sainz, and Kevin Magnussen, Leclerc, Alonso, Roman Grosjean, and Gasly, Hulkenberg, Hartley, Marcus Ericsson, and Stoffel Van Dorn. Sirotkin and a Williams rounds off the grid.
So then, apart from Hulkenberg, who has a grid penalty, we're the only other driver to pick up a penalty. So yeah, we'll be starting from 20th place. So we'll have a look at the race strategy. Super softs onto the soft tyres. Yeah, okay, sure, we'll run with that, whatever. We have 2 sets of super softs. We have a set of ultras and a set of softs that we can use as well. Half a lap worth of extra fuel. We'll bump up to 1. Just to give us a bit of help. That'll do. Yep, there we go then. Oh, what's the difference between 1 and 2 sort of strategy? 7 seconds. No, yeah, we're starting at the back. So we'll start then super softs onto the soft tyres. We'll try to keep it clean, keep ourselves out of trouble, and hope there's a bit of carnage in the race. A couple of safety cars, that sort of thing. A few retirements. Hopefully we can pick our way through the field if people chip over. But yeah, this could be a race, you know, we're sort of languishing towards the back, but with it being Baku, anything can happen. It usually does. So yeah, we'll try to pick our way through the tail enders, the likes of our teammate, the Toro Rossos, maybe Ericsson as well, and hopefully have a respectable finish at the end. So we'll get the formation up out of the way, and then get round 4 this season at Baku on the go. So we're on the grid now, the 5 lights coming on. Let's build the revs, try and get some early positions off the start. Oh, a bit of a delay. Locking up into turn 1. Bit of contact there with Ericsson. And he's still there on our outside.
That's a decent start. Good job.
3 positions made up then. Up inside of Hulkenberg, P16. He had a grid penalty, that's why he's on the ultra softs compared to all of us on the supers. Wow, what a brave move that was, Fast Hartley. I'm impressed with that. Through the fast line and flat out left right, and here comes Hartley on his own and Hulkenberg as well. Oh, Nico. Oh, when I move to the inside to defend and he goes to the outside and overtakes me. Okay, I got mugged off by the AI there. That was embarrassing. Bumped up to hot lap. Oh, what is going on in my braking? Now I've had Ericsson around the outside. Scrappy, very scrappy. I'm coming to yellow flag zone, not too sure what's happening there. Someone's off into the wall. It's Ricardo. Ricardo's retired early on. Not too sure whether he's hit the wall or he's retired due to mechanical. So we'll be ending lap 2 in 16th place, although here comes Ericsson. Gaining, gaining, gaining.
DRS is now enabled. Will be available to use when you are within 1 second of the car ahead.
Hold around the outside. So remaining 16th for now. So coming around then to complete lap 5, Sotkin is behind me. My own teammate is about to pass me. That's how off the pace we are, and wow, he has just flown by us like we were standing still. So yeah, race isn't going well, but I knew I'd be slow here. Target is just to finish. Yeah, I've got Van Dorn closing up on me as we complete lap 6. Bending inside. Again, we just got no confidence on the brakes. Car doesn't feel great around here. I've tapped the back of Van Dorn and damaged our front wing.
It'll need replacing if it takes too much damage.
So we're coming around in to complete lap 9. Some of the leaders and the midfielders already in the pits for their first stop. The front wing's not hurting us too much. I'm sticking with the likes of Van Dorn and keeping ahead of Ericsson. But when we do decide to make a pit stop, we will change the front wing. Oh, we've creamed it into the wall and absolutely ripped off our front wing. So we're going to be in at the end of this lap. We have to be. And no front wing. Soon we come now then. It's a new front wing onto the soft tyres. 15 laps remaining. I might try and push these to the end. So coming out then in 19th place. Well, a set of soft tyres. We'll try and carry this to the end and just pound round, see what happens. But it could be a very boring episode this, if you remain at the back with no action. And I've gone straight on. Oh, we've hit it in a wall again. What a nightmare. Just coming back out the pits then. Oh, they set of super soft tyres. We have absolutely nothing to gain now. In fact, I'm about 20 seconds away from being lapped, so this is going to be a very short highlight video, I think, unless anything amazing happens. I'm just going to pan round now and just finish the race. Literally just aiming for resource points now.
That looked bad. Are you alright? Let me know you're alright.
Look, my controller just disconnected. I am not joking, my controller just disconnected. Well. I mean, I was quite happy just chilling, walking around, well, driving around at the back of the field to get the resources. And my controller just disconnected, just vibrated like massively and just went to the... I genuinely mean that. Honestly, I am not bullshitting here. I was quite happy to just trial around in 19th, save the energy units by keeping the EOS down to medium and not running high. There was no point. We were keeping pace with Ericsson, but it was 45 seconds ahead, and I was quite happy to just trial around to get as many resource points as possible. And I came out the castle section, and all of a sudden my controller just vibrated. I've looked down here, looked up at the screen, and I've taken my fingers off the controls, and the car's just careered into the wall. And yeah, it's yeah, my controller just disconnected and it's caused me to retire. It sounds like, oh yeah, you were running last, that sort of thing, but I genuinely do mean it. I don't like retiring from the races. I will, if I'm a lap down after 2 laps and I've got nothing to gain, I'll just troll around. It doesn't bother me. The episode will be, you know, quite short. There'll be not many highlights, but you know, at least I'll get the resource points, and we have to develop this car as quickly as possible if we're going to have any chance of, you know, somehow winning his championship in, you know, in the next, you know, 4 or 5 seasons. So yeah, I'm really disappointed. Our first retirement of the season comes because my controller decided to shit itself rather than me actually putting it in a wall and retiring or anything like that. But yeah, there you go. You take the rough with the smooth, don't you? But Bottas has won them. 6 seconds ahead. Verstappen completes the podium. Vettel, Perez and Raikkonen complete the top 6, then Ocon, Leclerc in 8th, Magnussen and Sainz. Outside the points then, Hulkenberg, Grosjean, Alonso, Gasly, Sorokin has done well for 15th, Hartley, Ericsson, Van Dorn and we, as well as Ricciardo, end up being a DNF. In the standings then, Verstappen leads the championship. I mean, what universe am I in? Anyways, 11 points ahead of Vettel, who's jumped up to 2nd. Bottas up to 3rd ahead of Raikkonen. Hamilton up to 5th now on 44 points, and as we scroll down there we can see we're still in 17th place, although Charles Leclerc's obviously picked up 4 points today, jumps above us and a few others as well, so still 3 drivers, Ericsson, Hartley and Sorokin yet to score. In the Constructors, Ferrari take the lead of the championship, 2 points ahead of Red Bull, who are in turn 2 points ahead of Mercedes, so 4 points separates the top 3, nice and close. Force India look quite safe in 4th place at the moment, ahead of Haas and Renault McLaren. Sauber with Leclerc's 4 points for 8th place, jump up to 8th place ahead of Toro Rosso. We remain plumb last, but at least we have that 1 point. So then the rivalry breakdown for the Baku Grand Prix in Azerbaijan. Yeah, we did quite poorly, obviously. We're now losing the rivalry to Ericsson, 8-7. But we're still comfortably ahead of Sorokin, 20-12. And long may that continue. The resource points then. Race position versus qualifying. Yeah, we gained a position, obviously. Clean lap. And the team goal has come in as well as we expected. So 550 takes up to 1,426. It should have been a bit better. There we are. Complete 4 practice programs in 2 weekends. We've done that quite easily. Reputation then has unfortunately gone down with several teams, but remains the same at Williams. And there is the respect level. Question there towards the showmanship side, which is what the team would like. So I've got to bear that in mind. And we have our first contract negotiation.
Nothing more than bumps and bruises, I hope.
Yeah, I'm
I
fine.
wish I could say the same for the car. That thing is quite a mess. What a disappointing end to a lot of hard work this weekend.
Blame my controller!
Plenty of repair time before the next race. It'll be just like new in time for the next Grand Prix.
I bloody well hope so, because Spain is next and I'm good round Spain and I want a positive result. Yes, blame the controller, Cole, not me. Anyway, we've got a contract negotiation. This is pretty simple. I've already done this, like I said before, in the previous career mode of Sauber that unfortunately you won't be able to get to see. So we start the contract negotiation.
Here you can see the current deal.
Yep.
Once negotiations begin,
Yep.
the team will make you an offer.
I know.
You can accept if you like, but I strongly suggest we push for better terms.
Yeah, okay, so basically what the team are offering me here is expected qualifying in race position 16th, a promotion to first driver, and the team goal going straight from easy through medium to hard. Level 2, level 1, all this stuff here. The proposed contract value is there, our value is a bit higher, so we need to get that white bar as close to the blue line as possible. So, what I'm going to do is drop this down to 19th as normal for qualifying in a race position. I want first driver, I want easy goal as a team goal. Right, so this is the contract perks that we come down to. Usually we had to do things like complete so many pit stops, complete so many classic car events, but now it doesn't really matter because these are contract perks. So we'll start hard straight away and go straight to level 3 on the race bonus, which is a 75% resource points bonus for the races. So let's say, for example, if you complete the race, doesn't matter in practice and qualifying, but if you do the race and you end up with, let's say, 100 resource points, you then get 75% of that added on, which would be 175, but of course we'd be expecting a lot more than that. Upgrade speed, minor and major upgrade time reduced by 1 week. Yeah, let's go for that. Simultaneous development, I want 2 upgrades per department. Right, so we'll challenge this one. It's going to be massively over.
They
It
didn't
is.
like those terms. Let's try again.
Yep, okay, that's fine. View reputation. Yeah, there's our reputation of the team. That's fine. View description. So we've got to take a few of these things off. So if we drop it down to minor upgrade time reduced by 1 week and level 2, 50% resource bonus. What does the white bar do for us there? It drops us down. We're just over. We're just over. Right. We have to get this right because we've got 1 attempt left, and if we get this wrong, we go back to basically what we're doing. So minor upgrade time reduced by 1 week. We can. Okay, we're going to keep the qualifying race position at 19. We can't go any lower than that, and if we go higher, then obviously the value goes up a little bit because of it. First driver, I want first driver because we get bonus points for each session, which will help. Team goal easy, we'll keep it at that. So we've got a choice of either 2 upgrades per department I want. So we've got a choice of either removing the minor upgrade time reduced by 1 week, which means that minor upgrades take 2 weeks, or we go to here and only get 25% resource points bonus. Yeah, It's one of these. It's one of these we've got to get rid of. I want 2 upgrades per department, that's for sure. Right, we'll keep the minor upgrade time. We'll drop this down to 25% resource points bonus for the races. Do that. And we're
The
in.
proposal has been accepted. The new contract will take effect from the next race weekend.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right. So there we go. Here's our new contract. Then the expected qualifying race position remains at 19th. We're now first driver, so we get a percentage of resource points bonus every session. It's like maybe like for the qualifying session we get like 12. It's not a lot, but it still happens. Team goal, we keep it easy. Level 1 race bonus, 25% resource points bonus for the races. Level 1 for the upgrade speed. Minor upgrades are now reduced from 2 weeks down to 1, and simultaneous development we can now do 2 upgrades per department. That will come into effect at the beginning of next weekend. So then we'll move on to the research and development. The chassis, aerodynamic and powertrain departments are now all good. Not too sure what I've done there. 4% reduction, 2% reduction, aerodynamics 18 and 9, and the powertrain is 6 and 3. So we have 1,426 resource points. We can't do anything down here because we've got this one coming in next week, but we can yeah, we'll go for it. Right, we'll get this one redone then. This is the crankshaft. It's going to cost us 235, and there's no chance of a failure. 1,191 left. So we can go up here for 600. We can go over here for 500. So we can get 2 of these done, actually. That's quite good then. So we can either do the rear floor under tray or the energy store cells positioning. We'll do the energy stores. We'll go for this one then. So then, the energy store cells can be positioned lower, which lowers the vehicle's overall centre of mass. Fine, that should come in... Oh, no, actually, hold on. Yeah, right. I'm going to leave it because it's still 2 weeks. And when we go to Spain, which is next episode, and do that, it will still take a week. So, what I'm going to do is come up to the durability department. This is what I want to do. And we're going to come across to the gearbox and we're going to get that done. There we go then. Right, up to level 3 on the gearbox now. Now the reasoning behind that is simple. If we upgrade the chassis upgrade at the moment, we've got to wait until Monaco until it comes in, because we're still technically on our first contract, which takes 2 weeks to do a minor upgrade. But if we wait until next episode, which is Spain, and then do it, our new contract takes effect, which means it comes into Monaco. So there's no real point doing it now. We might as well just save the resource points and get something done in the durability, because whichever way we do this, we try to upgrade it now, and next week it will still come in at Monaco. So there we go then. So the powertrain will come in, which might take us up to the top, because obviously we're running the same unit as Mercedes and Force India, and if they don't upgrade the powertrain, we could be at the top of that. And obviously we got hopefully this coming in next week as well, and obviously as well the third of 4 upgrade units for the gearbox. So hopefully they'll all come in next week. So yeah, disappointing weekend. We was off the pace in practice. 19th in the full wet session in qualifying. Decided to take on a load of new engine parts, which is a good idea, to be honest, in the race. Yeah, disappointing. 2 crashes in the space of a couple of laps put us 45 seconds behind the 18th place guy. I was quite happy to just trial around in last place to try and get as many resource points as possible, and then my controller decided to randomly disconnect and put me in the wall, and much banter was had. But anyway, we've managed to secure ourselves a nice little new contract with a few little bonuses on there, so we'll just scrub this up as a difficult and disappointing weekend. Next episode is Spain. I'm expected to do quite well there. It's a track I do like, and I did it very well in previous career modes as well, so hopefully we can bounce back to a positive weekend next time out. So thank you very much for watching this episode, and I'll see you all for the next one very soon.